Hello, friends. I am back in the same place I was just a few weeks ago. I was here showing you a ritual for the new moon, the Taurus new moon, and snow was covering the ground. And now the sun is out, and I'm sitting in front of one of my favorite ponds in Minneapolis and listening to the frogs and watching the ducks. And so today I want to share a practice for this season that we're in of Beltane, of May Day. May Day was yesterday, and I was too busy rolling around in the woods and in the grass to record anything. So here I am today. And so this season is this time of year where everything is sort of growing, right? We're in this very we're in a growth phase. We're in a waxing phase. The moon herself is also waxing. All these little green buds are starting to burst forth. It's this moment. Beltane is between halfway between the spring equinox and the summer solstice, and so it marks this movement into fullness, right? We're not quite there yet, but there's this surge of energy moving through us. There's this incredible potency of the earth, this vitality, this sexual force, this primal sexual force, the Kundalini. And so, and this force, it makes little green things fall from the trees or burst forth from the trees. And it's also rising in our bodies, right? And so we're experiencing sort of this, these waves, these currents opening up. And if we can move with them consciously, if we can, and there's even ways to sort of coax more of that energy through our bodies, so that we can, first of all, just become more aligned with nature, which sort of holds us in this way. Whenever we're aligned with the forces of, the turning of the seasons, the turning of the moon, we're sort of held in this particular way that's really delicious, really sweet, really beautiful, really powerful. And what it also does is, especially right now, this spring energy, we have the chance to plant seeds. I spent the day a few days ago gardening with my mother and planting seeds, and it's the same thing can be done if you don't have access to a garden, if you're not planting, if it's not your thing. You can do that with your own body. You can, open to more of this incredible force that's moving through us, and you can decide where you want to direct it. And this is incredibly powerful. If we can consciously, through our bodies, actually physically feel this energy, and then with our mind, with our clarity, our vision, our intuition, our power of prayer, of intention, if we can join those two forces, we can birth new worlds. Now, it doesn't have to be an exact thing that you want to create. We're in such a time of unknown, or at least I'm feeling that way presently in myself, but I do know how I want to feel. I know how I want to feel in my life. I know how I want to feel in the world, right? And how I want the world to feel for my brothers and sisters. And so even if you don't have a super clear intention, this action of awakening the energy, awakening the energy, and then directing it towards a vision, towards an intention, can be done, really simply as well. So what I want to teach you today is just a really simple practice to start to feel this energy in your body. So we're going to work with the root a little bit. Now, the root is this where the Kundalini energy, this vitality, it's like coiled like a snake at the base of the spine. And so this power is said to be dormant, and this, this springtime energy, it's starting to wake up. Now, I find it to be incredibly potent when we can actually physically feel that in the body, connect to our own root. So the base of the spine, the perineum, the pelvic floor, the genitals, the sexual organs. I mean, if we can connect to that force and really the pleasure there, or whatever sensation is there. Sometimes we think it has to be pleasure. It doesn't necessarily have to be pleasure. It's just feeling something there. And then starting to coax that alive and up the spine. So I'm just going to give you a little taste of that today. And so what you're going to do is just you can do this seated in a chair. You can be lying on your back. My favorite position is the one I'm in now. So just an easy seated position, cross-legged, just so that I can like feel my booty on the ground. I really like to feel, my root on the earth. But you don't have to be outside to do this. And we're just going to squeeze a little bit with the pelvic floor, right? So you're going to inhale and squeeze the pelvic floor up and in. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into the pelvic floor because we could spend years on just the pelvic floor, but you want to feel it kind of lift up and in. So you're squeezing it in and then you're squeezing it up. So you're squeezing at the perineum, trying to squeeze it up, and it doesn't need to be super intense. And you can also do that with the cervix if you have a cervix, right? So you can have an energetic cervix as well if you've had yours removed or something like this. And so men, and this is for men and women and all genders, so you're squeezing up and in. And as you do, you're inhaling. Right? And as you inhale, you can imagine you're drawing earth energy up into your root, right? Into this center of vitality, this seat of Kundalini, of power in your body, right? So inhale to squeeze, and exhale, just release the pressure, right? And as you just release the pressure, so you're not squeezing anymore on that exhale, as you release the pressure, the energy can then just travel up the spine. Again, I'm not going to go too deep into this, but what you can do is imagine it going up the back of your spine, maybe over the crown of the head, and then back down the front. Right? Now that's on your exhale. And don't think too much about it. Don't try so hard. The energy naturally wants to move that way, just by nature. And so we'll just do that a few times. And I like to add a little rock of my pelvis as I do that. So I like to inhale as I come forward and squeeze, sort of pressing the belly forward, pulling the heart forward just a little bit. It doesn't need to be a lot. And then exhale, relaxing back a little bit, allowing that energy to travel up the spine, keeping the chin down slightly. So inhale, squeezing, drawing up this beautiful, nurturing, nourishing energy of the earth into your root, into your sex organs, into your perineum, your cave of Kundalini. And exhale, release the pressure, just letting the spine soften back into space. Completely relaxing the pelvic floor. And then inhale forward and exhale back. And continuing just like that. Inhaling and exhaling. And you can breathe in and out through your nose here. You can breathe in and out of your mouth. It really doesn't matter. The breath in and out of the nose is going to get you feeling your body even more. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. And as you squeeze, as you move, pay attention to the physical sensations in your body. So just notice what you feel, and especially in your genitals, your sex organs, at your roots, your perineum, the pelvic floor, just noticing, not trying to make it any different, not judging what you find, but just being present with it. We'll do that a little bit more because it's delicious. All right. Now I just want to add one more thing. If you like, if you're going to come to, I'm offering a full moon portal happening on May 6th, 5 p.m. Central Daylight Savings Time. And so if you're going to come to that, you could try this in preparation. And that's inhaling, squeezing, pulling the energy up the spine. Woo! And exhale, letting it drop down the front. So that's on your inhale. You draw the energy up the back. Exhale down the front. So we're starting to loop the energy on the breath as you flex, as you wave the spine. And again, as you do that, continuing to pay attention to the physical sensations at the root. Alright, now relax. Now, when the breath comes back down, it's really beautiful to let it meet that root, right? So you're just creating this like continual loop of energy. And you see how nature responds, right? When we're aligned with nature, when we're aligned with the forces, like she responds, you know, right? As we're like drawing that energy up, the wind comes. Okay, so I'm offering, as I mentioned, a full moon portal. I'm offering these every other week for the foreseeable future as a way for you to plug into these forces that hold us. And so the full moon portal will be, this is sort of the groundwork for it. And we're going to be awakening sexual energy with breath, with movement, with visualization. Your camera's not going to be on. So for these moon portals, the cameras are off. It's a webinar style, so you don't have to be seen by anyone, just yourself or your cat, whatever, whoever's there. And so these portals are, this one in particular is going to be awakening that energy, and you get to align it with an intention. So with something that you're wanting to manifest in your own life, in your body, that can be something very physical. It can absolutely be something very tangible. You know, you'll have some space to reflect on what that is that you want to be creating. But it can also be a bit nebulous. So I would love to have you all there. It's going to be super powerful, even if you can't attend live. It's recorded, and this practice is potent whenever you do it. It doesn't just have to be on a full moon. It can be whenever you're feeling like you want to tap into your vitality, into your energy, and move it. Let it feed something that you're creating in the world. I'm sending you massive, massive, massive springtime, Beltane, May Day blessings from my heart to yours. Mwah!